Just before 3 o'clock on your Wednesday, it's February 10th, and we're back live on CentralValleyTalk.com, YouTube TV, and on Facebook. I'm Austin Reed. You can hit me up on Facebook, Austin Reed on Air. Thank you for being with us. A beautiful day here at the Tower District in Fresno. Temperatures getting close to 70 today. Cannot beat this kind of weather here in February. Our next and final guest is John Messer. We're talking art. Hey, John, welcome back to Central Valley Talk.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me today.
Now, you were on many years ago.
Yes.
And since then, a lot has changed for you professionally, right?
Yes.
So first off, give people kind of a background story as far as your journey with art.
My journey with art started, I don't know, about 20 years ago. I just started doing digital work. It helped. It was kind of therapeutic for me.
Sure.
It helped me process emotions and just decompress and that kind of thing. And so I just started doing spraying colors on the canvas using my tablet on my computer. And then I kind of fell out of that. And 5 or 6 years ago, I took an acrylic painting class. Just at a Michael's here in Fresno, and that was the first time I had actually touched a real paintbrush to a real canvas, and it felt amazing, and I loved it. So I started painting and started doing a little bit of sculpting after that also. So it's still the same thing. I put on some violin music and just kind of
get in the vibe.
Go off to another place, right?
Yeah,
and it really helps me just kind of decompress after a long day, and so it's.
Now, you had a studio on M Street in Fresno for a little while. You've since right? Is that where you were?
I was in the M Street Arts Complex.
Right, okay. But now you've got a beautiful studio at home.
Yeah, I do. When I bought my house, I converted one of the bedrooms into an art studio, and that's where I do all my work now. So,
do you sell as well?
I do, as much as I can. It's not a primary source of income at the moment, but yeah, I do. I've done several commission pieces for people here in Fresno and in the Lake Tahoe area. So.
Okay, very good. We have some pictures that we'll be putting up throughout this interview. What are some of the what do you favorite? What do you like specifically doing?
I don't necessarily have a favorite. It's kind of whatever I'm feeling at the moment. If I see or hear something that moves me emotionally, most of my pieces have a lot of emotion in them. So, for instance, one of the pieces that you're going to see today, that was a commission piece.
Okay.
That's a sculpture that I did. I do my sculptures from scraps of metal out of the machine shop at my brother's business.
Oh.
And so that's a walleye, a fish swimming across a lake bed that I did for a guy that used to work for my brother. So that's a commission piece I did.
Wow.
One of the pieces you're going to see, I did that one right there. I did. That's a tribute to Italy that I did at the beginning of COVID when they were being hit so hard. I just felt moved. I saw actually a photograph of these ballerinas, and so I did a similar painting, in that vein. So I don't necessarily have a favorite, but a favorite type of thing to do. Sometimes I'll do abstract work. Sometimes I'll do more detailed, subjective work like that.
So you've been, like you said, you've been doing this for over 20 years, around 20 years, whatever. But if there are any aspiring artists, young artists, what advice would you have for them?
Just stick with it and practice, and don't compare your work to other people's work. Just do your work. Someone's going to like your art. If you get your art in front of enough eyes, somebody's going to like it. And just paint. If you're a painter, sculpt. If you're a sculptor, the more you do it, the more practice you get into it, the more your work improves. You see things in your work, and you look at it afterwards and you're like, oh, I could have done this differently. And then the next time you do it differently. And you just continue to improve that way.
As far as, do you like to paint by memory?
I do mostly,
Okay.
or imagination.
Sure.
So, several of the pieces that they've shown were just images I conjured up, like, oh, that I'll do a moonrise between the trees, right? And that just maybe I saw that somewhere, something similar when I was backpacking or something like that. But yeah, that's generally how I work.
Is it good as an artist to travel and see things?
It absolutely is. And to look at everything in an artistic way and to view the perspectives, just when you're looking at things, I kind of imagine how they would look in a painting or a sculpture.
Talk a little bit about what artists do you look up to?
Oh boy, there are actually some local artists. Brenda Allison, who's a friend of mine, I love her work. Some historical artists. I like Monet, the flowers, and some of the flower settings and fields that he's done. So. Ma Lee is another local artist. That guy has really inspired some of the work that I've done, and I have the table that I paint on now. Ma gave it to me, and it's a special table, and
cool.
So that's where I do all my work is on that table that Ma gave me. So,
and especially I think right now in the time of COVID, even for somebody that's thought, hey, maybe I would like to paint or I would like to draw. This is a good time to do it. To get into it.
It absolutely is, and it's a great time to do it online. If you have the courage to get in front of people. The tribute to Italy painting that I did that live on my Facebook feed.
Cool.
Since it was at the beginning of COVID, everybody was locked down. Right. I thought, oh, maybe I'll try to help relieve people's boredom, right?
Yeah.
And it was really fun. I got a lot of good feedback, and it was a lot of fun to do that. So
you've got pieces for sale right now on your website?
It is for sale.
Okay.
It's not on my website right now.
Oh,
That's
okay.
one thing I was just telling Mike.
Yeah.
I have a whole website revamp in progress, and I probably should have finished that before I came on the show.
Oh, that's okay.
But it's
a good tease.
Yeah, it's set up now to sell prints of some of my older work.
Okay.
And I'm converting it over to sell all originals of my work now.
If somebody was to come to you and say, hey, I need a picture of downtown Fresno, can you create that for me? Can you do that?
Sure.
Custom work? Okay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I do commission work. In fact, I have a couple of commissions on the table right now that I'm getting ready to start. So,
perfect.
Yeah, absolutely, I do commission work.
Anything else you want to talk about before we sign off?
No, I don't know that there's. I didn't really have a plan coming in, and I appreciate the time on the show today. Just getting a little bit of exposure, and I haven't been painting for a little while, and I've started to pick up the brush again, and I just wanted to let people know I'm painting again, and that commission work is available, and that I'll have my originals up on my website soon for sale also.
Website and phone number.
Website is atonementstudios.com, and the phone number for the studio is 559-715-1500.
And John, it's funny. A lot of people don't realize just how many talented artists are in Fresno Clovis.
Oh, there are a lot of artists in this area.
Yeah. So we're glad to feature your work today.
Good
to meet you, brother.
Much. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming on. John Messer, contact him for more details. That wraps it up for Central Valley Talk on this Wednesday. Thank you for watching. We've had an exciting 3 hours of guests and topics. We'll be back tomorrow starting at noon. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, 10th of February. Bye, everybody.